Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. We're gonna do a showcase of Sinful Angelica, or Singelica for short. I'll say ML Angie, I'll say Singelica here and there, and so if you guys hear different names, that's the reason. My thoughts on her. I mean, if you guys watch my initial thoughts video series, which I do when they have those like preview videos up, like, you know, a week in advance or even a month in advance, depending on if it's an ML or RGB hero. If you did hear that, my thoughts on her, like, originally, man, frick, like, she was so good. Like, sorry, I said frick. Rowana was released with Sinful Angelica. Those two heroes were featured on the same Korean stream. YouTube videos were dropped at the same time. I did my thoughts videos on both at the same time, and I honestly thought that Rowana, well, like, pretty good to counter. She does not bring as much utility as Sinful Angelica. Now, arguably speaking, Sinful Angelica doesn't really function as a healer, so to speak, but she's definitely really good for burst battles. So any sort of battle, realistically, I guess Arena and the GVG right now, I would say, would be where she would really shine, especially with the super heavy RB meta that we have on defense teams. I mean, RB just does so much. This is why Smilegate keeps pumping out counters to RB. RB is insanely good, but Sinful Angelica makes not only RB kind of like laughable, but also makes like made Chloe and even Ruel. But I would say more like Sinful Angelica should go into a made Chloe fight more than a Ruel fight. Made Chloe and RB would probably be my top choices in terms of like the PvP like opponents you wanna take on. Sinful Angelica is very good. Again, I said that in my initial thoughts video. Her imprint is self effect resistance. She has really high effect resistance, innate 30%, and it's kind of, actually, wait, is it 30%? No, it might be lower. I actually forgot. I think it is 30% though, but very good. I wish I have more Ice Angies now. I would totally do it, 100%. Self imprint is the way to go. Here are their stats. Not super impressive, to be honest, but honestly, a lot of people ask me this. Hey Dragon, how would you build Singelica? In my opinion, chase speed. You need her to get her turn, and like I said, she's good for burst battles, not for long sustaining battles, unless you have another healer paired with her and you're using her primarily as an attack buffer and dual attacker. But mine, because I'm lacking speed gear with like kind of healer stats, on the right sets, that is, like I have to chase effect resistance, speed, and so I kind of just opted to make her like higher defense. She does have very low base health. Her defense actually stands to be pretty decent in terms of a Soul Weaver, pretty average, but her base health is very low. So I wouldn't recommend chasing a lot of health. Like this one is because I honestly think that my health is way too low, but the defense is actually not bad on this build at the moment. Her S3, it grants immortality to herself and everyone else on your team, increase attack and increase speed buff. Very nice. Of course, this is good because she doesn't really want a speed buff. You want to keep her immortal as long as possible. Highly recommend you do Mola this. It doesn't require a lot. Honestly, if you want her to be useful, she only requires this one skill enhance. Don't even bother doing the rest. I honestly can't think of a reason why I would want to. You see her, I have her on a Shamadra staff there. Is really for the effect resistance on some fights. In some of the GVG montage, you'll see I put her on a potion vial. It can come in handy, but she won't die for 2 turns unless they strip the buff. If your effect resistance is high enough, there's no problem. Again, like I said, she has high innate resistance, and if you get this to SSS imprint, she has the highest. She has one of the highest. Ray is now announced. Green Soul Weaver coming. At the point of this recording, he's coming soon. He will have the highest base effect resistance. No, I gotta take that back. He doesn't have effect resistance self imprint, so she actually has the highest base effect resistance. I think even beats Momo. Including her own effect resistance. She only gets like I think 18 because she's a 3-star. But Sinful Angelica gets more, and she has 30% innate. So realistically, you can see Sinful Angelica built very well with potentially 200 plus effect resistance, like easily. Like if you could get Momo to those levels, you can get her as well. Like I said, the only thing lacking on her is base HP. That's the suffering part. So anyways, if you grant immortality to yourself, you grant the attack and speed buff, but then the immortality sets up for everything else. When the caster is in immortal, the enemies cannot be revived during the time she's in immortal. So this is confirmed. I've never ran into a situation where someone was able to turn cycle enough to get the revive again, and this is why I recommend don't bring her to a Ruel fight unless you're sure that the two targets you're fighting are really squishy and you have enough turns to kill off the Ruel. Because generally speaking, Ruel is probably the tankiest compared to like a Maid Chloe. So you don't want to have her reset her cooldown and your immortal's not there. Basically, if your immortal is gone, like you strip it, someone can still revive them. So in terms of an RB only fight, once he's dead. There's no way to revive them. But let's say if you get stripped on like a Maid Chloe or Ruel fight and your immortal is gone, they can revive with you if your immortal is gone. So just keep that in mind. I thought it worked as an extinction before, but no, it doesn't. It's confirmed that once the immortal is gone, they can be revived again. So yeah, and then increases the amount, it heals when an enemy dies, increases proportion to the target's max health. So that's really good because, again, like I said, she has low base HP. So if you want any healing at all, you may as well have it on the target's max health. If you're using, like say a Ravi, with her, which you'll see in my my GVG ones with her, I use a Ravi a lot. And then Deliberating Strike, this is super awesome as well. 65% chance to decrease the attack for 1 turn. That's without Mola. I mean, for Mola to a +5, that's a waste of Mola. You only get 10% out of it. So that's what I said. You don't need to Mola this at all. A 65% decreased attack chance is insanely good. And then if she has an immortal, it will trigger a dual attack from the highest attack. That makes her super good while she's in the immortal state. So you can almost, if you bring her to a GVG fight, it's like you have 4 heroes in that GVG fight, because then she acts as a DPS. Lilius can sort of act in that sense, and Tamarine is too slow to charge up. So this is what makes Sinful Angelica super nice to have. And the fact is that Sinful Angelica actually has very high base speed as well. I'll show you the rules on this. It's like, this is nothing super special. This one's actually not bad. I may I-90 this. I don't know yet though. Just the 22 defense with the flat defense and the effect resistance kind of nice. This one, I need an upgrade. The effectiveness on Angie is okay, like I said, with the attack down. Plus, you get it for free. Like, she can go into ML Ken, no problem, because, like, she has the Immortal buff. And realistically, if you get the crit on the ML Ken, he crits her, or he counters her, and you get the attack down, too. So, it's kind of nice. This one, not much there. Flat health, defense is nice to have. I just kind of gave her what I had. She doesn't have really any top level gear, but she functions really well, just because, like I said, immortality on herself. If you're worried about like being cleaved, I think having the defense I'm at is decent enough. The health is actually decent enough. If you want, you can actually go with a Water's Origin as well. So let's say, for example, you go into a GVG and it's triple cleave. Let's say it's like a FCC Charles or Lilius Charles and RB or something like that. One of them will do enough damage to be able to proc the Water's Origin, so she gets a CR boost and ensures her turn. That might be a good one to have as well, and that's also a good reason why you want to go up high defense and just kind of lower HP. Like I said, nothing about HP actually helps her. And if you have a high enough resist, they can't defense break her. So in terms of effective HP, you may as well go with higher defense. Anyways, at this point, I'm going to show you guys the PvP montage. I'll be commentating on them, of course, and seeing how she's used. So you guys have confidence in building her and even investing her in that one, literally like 1 Mola, super cheap. Love this character, and I'll be back to sum up my thoughts on her.
自分の中の忠義だけを信じてください。仲間が助かるのならば、私は喜んでこの命を捧げます。
And never get back on your feet. I'm getting tired of you. Bye bye now. I hate getting hurt. Filthy creatures. It's time to tear them to pieces.
Is the game sound very loud? I don't know. It sounds pretty loud to me, but oh no, maybe it's normal. Maybe it's normal. Moonlight Dreamblade. You better not miss. Maybe a little. Okay.
I won't go easy on you.
Break skill null. Double stun. Perfect. Yeah, push. Let's go for... Who has the highest attack? Let me think. Violet? No Alexis, so yeah, Violet. Okay, so Violet go.
Anybody there?
Wow. Didn't kill, but it's okay. I mean, no one's gonna go after him. Hey guys, welcome.
Please. Over here.
Violet.
Can I go home? I will lend you the power to take another's life.
You're not bad at all. For a rookie.
Okay, well, let's test it if it is on a... If it is on a Moonlight Dreamblade, we may as well hit him now. Okay, he's not. At least I don't think so. Let's extend. Okay, that oh, Orius is on. Oh, it's a Holy Sacrifice Crow. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait one turn. Wait, let me think. The Lilius is gonna provoke my Violet. I'm gonna provoke the Lilius. Dual attack now will be K-Ron. Let's go for Lilius. Blind. Soul burn it anyway. Haven't hit my own immortal, so that's kind of good. Provoke Crow. Okay, well that Crow is gonna be useless.
Please.
Who is it?
Don't
K-Ron?
talk to me.
Okay, let's go for Crow still.
Anybody there?
May as well make him S3. Okay. K-Ron. Actually, I think he's dead. No, I'm gonna stack one more. He's most likely Holy Stack anyway. Resist.
I hate getting hurt.
I'm gonna do it just for fun. Let's see if it crits. It does. GG. Yeah, it's Holy Sack. Bullied. Okay, cool. You guys watch my SC Raws feature video. I show this clip to this fight as well. Don't see many of these comps here anymore.
Let's do this.
I think for a while it took people by surprise.
Burn away.
And but this comp that I'm bringing to Dot Stories is very, very, very safe. Highly safe, highly effective. I really think that with Angelica, Singelica's existence now made Chloe GVG defenses may start struggling. Just because like if you bring squishy but high damage like defense heroes with Maid Chloe, you can out tank it like this, and then you chip them down and they can't revive. If you bring kind of like a Charles, like more bruisery, you can go with higher burst damage and still same effect. So like i.e. if it's like a Charles with I don't know someone else, you can you go with like Surmi or whatever with your ML Angie and a tank, and that should be enough. Again, ML Angie is a direct target for Maid Chloe on these comps. So if Maid Chloe does the dual attack, your ML Angie won't die. Assuming that you did get the immunity buff by then, but it should, because ML Chloe, even if it's faster your Angie, then it would be a buff, a revive and attack buff. So yeah. So this was pretty good. It's pretty safe. The Dot Stories Kairon hits hard, so my Raws did suffer a bit, but because of the bait, the AI bait, there was no way my Raws would die from this point on. But definitely it'd be interesting. I have to see more Maid Chloe defense teams in order to make that assumption, the one I just said about Angie making her kind of useless. We'll see. As seen in the Dot Stories comp, this team, in fact I'm running this on my defense as well, and I gotta take it off honestly, because although like it may take some players out once they catch wind of ML Angie usage for this team specifically. There's no way another one of these teams can win. Like there's no amount of RNG that can cause the team to win. Because once you take out Yufine and the Kairon and you have a tanky team, the Kairon is left. There's not much the Kairon himself can do, especially if you already have ML Angie. I mean, she does quote unquote heal as well. So it's not. Here the strip, it was pretty detrimental, but the dual attack chance with the defense break opportunity, 60% to land a defense break, was really good. So yeah, once the ML Angelica passive goes off, Maid Chloe becomes, like I said in the previous skill wolf right there, ML Chloe becomes sort of useless. Like it doesn't matter if Roz has stripped any buffs. Kind of useless. We kill them off so quick that Maid Chloe here still would have 4 turns until she can recycle her cooldown, which is just too much. It's way too much for any ML Chloe. Even though this one was on an idle cheer, there was no way she could sustain like a dual attack from Roz and dual attack from Roz and being able to soul burn it. So you basically have multiple ML Robbies going into this, plus that death break. So this arena fight, pretty cool. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. Having a Bazaar on my team also really helps. Just gives me enough time to get a turn. Bypass the 15% RNG here. You push that to Bazaar back, and then Soul Burn, you push them back. ML Cecilia, even if she is faster innately with this 30% pushback, and assuming that she got the turn like before my damage dealer, i.e. Kairon in this one, she wasn't able to get the skill null, so I have no problem to kill. Of course the target here is Arbiter Vildred first, and then the ML can damage doesn't really matter until I start doing the S1. Yeah, so this one here I'm hesitating only because I'm debating whether to kill off that Bazaar as well. I decided to go for that S1 there. I was hoping to actually kill off Bazaar and RB at the same time. But again, like I said, having that unbuffable from my Bazaar really helped. And that was enough to kill off the RB with my Lidica there. He did end up stripping here, but it didn't really matter at this point because I got the blind on the Fire Litica. And since Kieran is fire and Litica is fire, and that counter actually made it hilarious. Because both of them are fire and the blind has 50% decreased hit chance, it wouldn't have hit. It was 100% miss chance. So that Litica came in handy. Yeah, and then you just S3 and the ML cannon's dead. But again, MLNG makes that possible. No protection, no heal. So no invincibility, no healer. Outside of herself, if you consider herself a healer, of course. This one again, RB equals ML Angelica. How do we fit her in? We got two ice heroes, Crow and SSB. Kieran has immortality, so it doesn't really matter. And then we have a Violet, which is just big trouble for SSB and Crow. In the long run, of course, that's assuming that the worst case scenario, everyone dies and only Violet was left. I would still most likely win because they have no heal as well. This is very effective again, very effective team. In case that RB was on a Moonlight Dreamblade, which I didn't notice, sometimes I just don't. I just go for the S1 first and then just end off with the Kieran to ensure the kill. And skill null doesn't work here. Again, the same thought process. Counter Kieran going off. It's always really cool to see Kieran counter actually. I believe there is an adamant shield here. Yeah, that was on a Moonlight Dreamblade, yeah. So you don't want to risk that. So you want to chip him down. With ML Angie's, there's no worry about the RB revive at the wrong time. Like, you don't need to be prepared for his revive like you need to do in so many other comps. But with ML Angie, you know that it doesn't matter. Moonlight Dreamblade doesn't matter. If you kill him off, he's dead. He's good. So it just makes him like any other thief, which is what one of her, I guess, best utilities. But I think the attack buff and the speed buff is actually really nice as well. And I did mention this when I was showing the stats and the build, that she doesn't get the speed buff, which is really good, because then most likely, even if she does the dual attack, your attackers will still have an attack buff up, even regardless of speed. And your attackers will always be going first. Her immortality stalls her from dying, so it's very nice to have. I've never really paired her with SSA, Shooting Star Akates, but it would be interesting to see them paired up, because if SSA was needed and to extend the immortality on ML Angelica, you have that option as well. But like I said when I was showing the stats, there's really no, like, ML Angie's not there for a sustained fight. You can see that I'm killing them off within their entire debuff duration as well. So 3 turns at the max. Like, you can't, ML Angelica's specialty is never, well, I would say it's not to sustain the fight, for sure. Her heal is cool, but it's just not enough to really merit her to be your main healer. So while I would say that she's more of a niche pick, she's not really at the same time, because she does so much. She's definitely a good counter to this high RB defense rate. Like, everybody who has an RB has him on a defense team, just because he's pretty amazing. He just does a lot it's himself. So yeah, the same concept as you guys have seen probably many times. Attack buff goes up. This time no Bashar, no unbuffable, so the skill null becomes a problem, but not a big problem, because skill null on that turn for Litica. And to be honest, I got lucky here. I showcased this. This is not the best scenario. I went into this blind, of course, and it was not the best scenario to go in, because I didn't know the speed tuning. I wasn't actually expecting the RB to be this fast, but it kind of makes sense. And most RBs are running on speed boot now. But again, without that revive, it makes this team a lot easier. With Violet's miss up it was really hard for the SSB to kill me. Plus, I'm on a lifesteal set, and Kayron installed on a Immortal, and ML Angie was as well. So I knew that once the Arbor was dead, there wasn't much that this team could do. The attack down was nice there as well. The next thing was you had to kill off that Bazaar. It was kind of a risk, but I had a Moonlight Dreamblade, I had my own evasion passive, and my Kayron was fire. He was blind from Lidica. So Lidica really, although she died, she really set up for this team. I think I banked on the Aureus to do, the damage here to do a lot of damage to that Cecilia. And then the dual attack to cap it off. So yeah, again, going into this fight, as you can see again, a very, very solid and also very meta defense. So meta heroes might not be a meta defense specifically, but meta heroes for sure. That Elbrus on this MLCC proved to be pretty difficult because I do sometimes like to rely on Lidica's strip and her blind and unhealable, especially going to an ML Ken. But because she was provoked, and I didn't know that Fallen Cecilia here was on an Elbrus, so I didn't have a potion vial ready. Otherwise, I could have. I usually, like I said in the builds page, you could run her on a lot of artifacts. It just depends on the fight. Yeah, that was. Spectani is, of course, is another story. She's pretty broken. Especially very good in controllable offensive fights. And that Bazaar was high priority to kill. We don't want him to get any strip or debuff or Abyssal Crown. Slow on our progress. And now I have actually got the unhealable and the blind as well on this ML Ken, so that on his turn nothing really would happen to my team. Although he does have a Sigurd Scythe activated at this point, but he wasn't healable. So that's it for my Sinful Angelica showcase. Again, I mean, if you pulled her, consider yourself really lucky. I think she's a very good utility hero. The thing is though, she doesn't even need to be brought into a revive comp, and she'll still be very good. As you guys saw in a lot of my arena fights, or some of my arena fights, I brought her in like straightforward as just an attack buffer that can survive. With the speed buff is really nice too, especially if you pair it with a speed hero, so you get that extra edge to get your turns. Anyways, that's my thoughts on her. Like her a lot. Definitely look into her, build her, love her. I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.